Yeah, but I mean, the serious thing is, this is still the administration, this is still the president, and this is still the reaction that they have administration-wide that goes beyond the White House, and it's censorship.
Absolutely. The Obama administration thinks it's their job to tell us how we should define this incident. That's not their job. It's their job to just tell us the honest facts.
Yeah.
But they have proven they're too cowardly to do that. I mean, I'm glad they did it eventually, but as you guys said, it's just completely backfired. This political correctness has caused everyone to start talking about ISIS.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think the victims of this horrible massacre in Orlando now feel worse than they did before because the administration has been using them as political pawns and getting them caught up in all of this political nonsense.
Yeah, it's incredibly unfair. Well, in an interview this weekend, Donald Trump suggested that in the wake of the Orlando attack, the U.S. should just profile people inside the country.
I think profiling is something that we're going to have to start thinking about as a country. I hate the concept of profiling, but we have to start using common sense, and we have to use, we have to use our heads.
All right. We also have to use a little bit more specifics here. So if the FBI can't keep track of a future terrorist, how can we possibly expect them to profile every Muslim person in this country?
Well, look, I mean, the word profile is kind of an inflammatory term, but we all profile everybody all the time. I mean, we do it for our own safety and our own survival, actually. If I'm a young woman and I'm walking down the sidewalk, I see a male walking towards me in a hoodie, a large male, regardless of that male's skin color, I'm probably going to go to the other side of the street and walk on the other sidewalk.
Kristin,
but if I see a little old lady,
you're a libertarian.
coming
I mean, you know
towards me,
the difference between using common sense and keeping track of someone who's coming towards you on a dark street late at night, but the government being in charge of profiling could put you on a very slippery slope.
Sure, I agree. However, when you have all of these terrorist attacks that are always done by one specific group, I don't think it's absurd to say that maybe we should take a little extra precaution when we're dealing with that group. That's also common sense.
All right, so Gavin, we could do this, but it's going to make us less safe.
Fine. No, it's going to make us more safe.
It's going to make us less
safe. With this freedom thing you libertarians are obsessed with, there's things called a time of war where we have to balance security with personal freedoms, and Muslims are wildly, disproportionately pro-suicide bomber, for example.
Then let's allow Congress to make that declaration of war.
All right, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We are officially at war with Islam.
Gavin, I was on Tim Cook's side for the San Bernardino iPhone unlocking. I thought he was absolutely right when he talked about civil liberties and not creating a backdoor that law enforcement could use to unlock any iPhone, therefore making the device pretty useless and open to so much harm. But in this case, I think he's being kind of dumb. What do you think?
He's a jerk. And look at their logo, by the way. It's the apple from Eden having a bite out of it. We're taking knowledge, and you could argue that's a Christian thing. Hey, we're risking knowledge here. But the real thing is they are atheists, left-wing saboteurs, and that logo means screw Christianity, screw America. We don't like Trump. We want liberals to win. And that's because that entire building is just full of beta males. You could fit all of the testosterone for all of Apple in a dongle.
Oh my gosh, that's quite a conspiracy, Gavin. It's very interesting.
We just saw it.
But you take several interesting themes. I like all my Apple devices. I love my MacBook Pro. I love my iPhone 6 Plus. I love all of it. Am I supposed to get rid of it now?
I wish I were principled to get rid of my iPhone and my MacBook in favor of Microsoft, but their products are just so damn good. I love Apple products.
Yeah.
I mean, this might hurt them a bit with some conservative consumers, but they really do make a great product.
Yeah.
But here's another thing that we should point out about the CEO.
Yeah.
He's a gay man, and he's got to wake up to the fact that the Democrats have done nothing to protect the gay community in the wake of Orlando. The Democrats are soft on terrorism, and we're seeing a lot of people in the gay community come out in support of Trump.
And we're going to see one of those people a little later. I'm glad you brought that up, because Chris Barron is going to a major city in the United States to pass a tax on sody pop in an effort to combat sugar and obesity. Oakland, San Francisco, and Boulder, Colorado will vote on similar initiatives in November. Will Philadelphians slim down now, or is the government just getting a little too big for its britches? The party panel is back. Kristin Tate, Gavin McInnes, and Meghan McCain. So, Meghan, I will start with you. Of course, Michael Bloomberg is behind this.
It reminds me. Yeah, well, I remember when they tried to do this and they were going to ban venti coffees, and I was like, all I'm going to do is buy 3 grandes. Like, you're not eliminating the problem. I'm still going to get as caffeinated and as much sugar in my body as possible. Drinking soda and sugary drinks is not shooting black tar heroin, and the implication that it is, I find insulting. I'm an adult. I can eat and drink whatever I want. It's the great part about living in this country, and the bottom line in this is actually going to hurt businesses.
No, but they are certainly, they are villainizing people for what they eat. It's because the government is now more in the business of healthcare than they've ever been. When it gets to single-payer insurance under Hillary Clinton, you can only imagine what's going to get banned. The interesting thing here, Kristin, is they're hoping that poor people stay addicted to sugary drinks and keep buying them somehow with this new tax, because they are trying to use the money to fund universal pre-K plans.
Right. Well, this really is a tax on poor people, kind of like lottery tickets. But these local nanny state laws, they never work. Here's what's going to happen. People will go to the next town over from Philly. They'll go to Costco, and they will load up their trunks with these 3-liter bottles of soda, and then they'll go home and have a basement full of it, and they'll end up drinking more soda than they would before just because it's there, sitting in their basement. It's the same thing when I go to Costco. I buy like a huge thing of laundry detergent, and I end up using more than I need just because I have it. I think we'll see the same thing happen.
I'm the same with mayonnaise. Like, I just get a big tub of it at Costco, and I use an ice cream scoop. And I eat vats at a time. I absolutely love it. It is going to get worse under President Clinton.
Yeah. Well, isn't this a great example, too, of the way the government operates? They don't see us as individuals. They see us as one dude, and they go, that guy's dying of obesity, so I'll tax that guy's soda, and then he'll be better and he'll be healthy. No, there's a huge myriad of people, and the ones that are fat from soda are having 3-liter bottles, not 1 can of Coke, but they just have this myopic view of the society where we're all equal, we're all the same, and it's incredibly naive.
And where does it end? I mean, where does it end? What substance going to go after next? What form of judgment is the government going to use to tell you what you're putting in your head hole is now somehow morally unsound? It's not right, I tell you. Well, this weekend, last night, in fact, LeBron James took home MVP honors for the NBA Finals, leading Cleveland to its first ever sports championship for basketball and its first citywide in 52 years.
Get up.
I thought that was such a beautiful moment. I really did.
Ugh.
The fact that it meant so much to him. He promised to bring a championship back to a city that he loves. He was a total jerk face and went to Miami.
Yeah.
I'm taking my talents to South Beach.
You don't have to cry like a baby about it. Everyone knows the man cry is just one Clint Eastwood movie tear like that.
That's because you've never won an NBA championship, Gavin.
If I did, maybe I'd have 2. I'd just go like
never had something to truly celebrate. And I thought that LeBron had a wonderful message for kids. You can be down 3-1, still come back and win. Believe in yourself, work hard, and you can do it.
I like that he did it in his hometown. I like that he came back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
But the extent of my sports analysis is I support all Arizona teams, and I liked LeBron and Trainwreck. That's as much as I got for you right now. I don't pay attention to sports at all.
He was funny in that movie, though. He was great.
I loved him.
And I've been a LeBron hater for a long time, but that was really the first time I went, huh. He's actually pretty good. I've always thought of him as being pretty inarticulate. So the good thing about this, Kristin, is everyone's going to be in a good mood for the convention.
Exactly. And, you know, I also, like Megan, I don't know anything about sports, especially basketball. Don't think I've ever seen a game. But this is really cool for Cleveland because it's where the GOP convention's being held. Yeah. And LeBron James he represents everything the GOP should represent, which is hard work and grit leading to success. So I think it's cool.
Well, also,
Trump's a winner.
And so is LeBron James. And Cleveland is now title town because the Lake Erie Monsters, their minor league hockey team, just won the Calder Cup. They won the championship.